is Sergio Espinoza. Today I will be explaining my experience growing up in the gaming community for 14 years and how it went from a specific large group of people to something mainstream. And I will be explaining my experience from childhood gaming up to adult life within my generation. Gaming is a very huge thing and has always been huge, but now it's a lot bigger than what it was 10 years ago. So today I will be explaining 2 points: how it was becoming mainstream and how the culture formed to its normalization. The first point I want to make on mainstream gaming is that gaming was mainly targeted towards children and younger adults and teens. Gaming was a pastime in arcades, then it went from the Atari, and it was mainly children playing. Then over time, gaming was a huge success. But while it was in its decline, soon as the Super Nintendo came out, gaming exploded with Super Mario. Gaming has always been around, from adults starting, people from growing up from the 1980s, when it became really mainstream. Around the 1990s is when controversy started coming, with Mortal Kombat and the adults that didn't understand the gaming community, which made it more mainstream, which caused game developers, young, ambitious game developers, to push the vision of gaming with games like Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, etc. After this push of edgy, cool, awesome gaming within the 90s all the way to the early 2000s, gaming has exploded all over the world, but there's a consequence to that mainstream. Now, it's been so available to everybody to the point where companies are now shoving microtransactions and manipulating people off their hobbies, as per se, to have them continue by giving them that dopamine rush in order to buy a new fancy digital shirt or a new digital guitar and Guitar Hero. These are just examples, but this is the consequence of gaming, of being mainstream. It has gone so far to the point where it has lost its vision of being a subculture of people bonding together for one specific thing. And now it's completely normalized and has lost its complete soul. And I will explain on the normalization. Now gaming is so big, with apps for people to connect with, like Twitch and Discord, and so places as PlayStation Network and Xbox Live. Now there are esports. Now there are these people called, I don't know how to come up with an appropriate word for it, but people usually tend to call them Twitch thoughts, which are women online that stream themselves appropriating their own bodies while playing a popular video game. It's been so normalized to the point where if I walk up to somebody that's within the age of 30, they're no longer too shy to tell me what games they play while they have a wife and kids and a job. And the reason why I say why it's so normalized, because me growing up, gaming was for nerds and kids. At that time, in the early 2000s, a lot of people were shy about expressing what video games they played. And I was told by this by other older gamers in LBCC when they were explaining to me how young gamers have it lucky nowadays. And the reason why it's so normalized is because my generation was so exposed to the idea that video games were only meant for kids, to the point where we grew up playing video games our whole lives. So now we have huge esports filling up arenas in Korea, and we have E3 stadiums filling up millions of people just to see a game trailer, like a movie theater or a concert. Gaming is the most mainstream and it's one of the most entertaining forms of media in the world. And this is my speech on how gaming has changed throughout the years. Thank you.